Unconditional Love Part 2. Okay. Brad has something to say, and hopefully it's not BS.
Okay, well, continuing on from our thought from the last episode, okay? The thing you wouldn't let me say.
Yes.
Do we need to do a little bit of backup on that for anybody who might have forgot?
They have to go watch the other video.
Oh.
We were talking about unconditional love and how children sometimes don't receive what you're putting out there.
Well, this is exactly what I was going to say. What I was going to say was this falls into quite heavily, actually perfectly, into a point that you've made several times in these episodes about communication and receiving what is being said.
Can you tell we're a little excited? And the arms are going.
One of the things that you said before that causes people, issues
Strife.
In life, right? And you can say it better than me, is that, by 8 years old, we've got so many of our perceptions of life nailed down. So if the things that are being communicated to you, if you're not hearing what your parents are saying correctly, then you're setting up for issues later in life.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Right? And even though everybody's intentions are well and good, there's pressures of society, there's pressures of jobs, there's pressures of this, that, and the other that limits your communication. I even found it with my kids. It's like, I'm getting short with my kids. I'm losing my crap with my kids.
And it doesn't even need to be. It doesn't even need to be when you're short with them.
Right.
Sometimes it's simply.
Maybe it's
the biggest issue. I truly think that the biggest issue that we all as human beings have throughout our lives is that we are not loved the way that we want to be loved. We may or may not be loved, and we are. We're all loved. All of you are loved, no matter what. I feel like it was a threat. But maybe it wasn't the way that you perceived you should have been loved, and because of that, you didn't feel loved.
Right. So, maybe people perceive it, and of course, we probably all crave unconditional love, right? We would like to think that because, romantically or just personally, we need that as human beings.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's called belonging, right? Unconditional love is belonging. And let's talk about belonging in a village, because I love that conversation, but go on.
I forgot what I was going
to
say.
I don't know what that was, this finger thing going on.
Did I do that?
No, I did.
Oh, sorry.
Conversation
completely sidetracked.
Yeah.
You should know better than interrupt me in a...
Okay, so I'll do the village thing. And
Please.
You just pause for a moment and see if you can get yourself back collected.
Focus.
So the whole belonging thing, unconditional love, belonging, truly, in this day and age, because we are so displaced, we literally don't have that sense of belonging that we used to have not even that many decades ago, where you were born in a town or a city or whatever, a community, and you belonged because you were you. So, hey, Brad, born into this community.
Sense of community.
Yes, you're Brad no matter what. I don't care what you end up doing with your life. I don't care what your grades are in school. I don't care anything about what you do. You belong because you're Brad. We don't have that anymore because we move away from where we belonged, and because we also don't generationally stay together. So we don't have that sense of unconditional love born into us anymore. We actually have to, as adults, foster it in children. And you don't have to be a child's parent to foster it in them, just FYI.
Totally.
Like, we need to be able to, as aunts, uncles, whatever the case may be.
Grandparents.
Yeah, grandparents, for sure.
The benefit of my kids have seen just from having such an incredible family around them is evident.
Right.
And myself too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about something else. I don't know if this is going to tie into that, but what about how crippling social media is to that whole process?
To the whole process of belonging.
Yeah.
I think social media is a whole other topic unto itself, but it's not even social media. So social media, the premise of social media, the idea of social media is amazing if we used it the way that we should have, but we don't. So things like Skype, things like that, they're not social media, but they are a digital way for us to stay connected with family and friends. Now, that's what social media in its most beautiful sense is and should be. But what it's turned into is a way to stab at people, a way to promote propaganda, a way to forward BS information, like the BS that gets forwarded on social media that we don't actually even check if it's real or not. It's unbelievable.
But what about what we were talking about off camera a little bit, just to bring that forward, What about just the whole concept of the fact that, like, communication in its most basic level is a very personal thing? I mean, there's cues that happen. There's instinctive things that happen between two people when they communicate in person, right?
Absolutely there is.
I mean, if you want to go as far as saying, like, there's energy that happens between people, great, right?
How about we stop? How about we stop right here, right now? You cannot be frozen. Or you can be frozen. Like, if you want to end this with you frozen, that's totally fine too. But I'm thinking that this is a huge topic. Instinct, intuition, the social cues that literally people are missing nowadays. I think that should be our next segment. I think we should start off the next segment of No BS Talk, where there will be no BS.
Because we know BS.
We do know BS. I think maybe the next segment should be all about how we've lost a lot of our ability to use our instincts and our intuition. Does that sound like a good plan?
Well, I'm big on communication, so I would love that discussion.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Brad. How do they get a hold of you?
Thanks, Julie. How do they get a hold of me? They get a hold of me at brad@bradlovellmusic.com.
Or under this video or above this video or whatever the case may be.
No BS.
They get a hold of me at JulieTurner.ca. That's JulieTurner.ca. And yes, I do truly believe that at this point that's part of my name. Thank you, guys. Please continue to send your questions. Obviously, we're super excited about them. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.